hurts. Okay. What are we doing? What are we doing? You know what? This room is a mess. I mean, I've got a Santa hat. That's fun. I can put that on. Not that you can see it, but you know what I think? I think this is much better. It's kind of stupid, but like we got a fireplace, we've got a Christmas tree. It's festive. Look at it, and we've even got this thing. I don't know what is this thing? Is that Echo? Is that Alexa? Beats me. What is that? Like an ashtray or something? Like a fancy ashtray. I don't know. Wow, it's me. It's me. Hello. That guy who hasn't uploaded since sometime early last year. 2020, that is. I mean, wowee. I'm just going to talk about my recent adventures. At least, that's the current working title. Let's start this off with something depressing. Quite frankly, it's not related to the rest of the video. I just thought I'd share it. So, the week beginning 6th of December rolled around, and I had a big sad. My mood suddenly hit a low, and I was a weeny bit depressed. Not to say I'm clinically depressed or anything. I'm literally just saying that emotions go up and down, and my brain decided to give me a down that week. Just to add to that, I am very fortunate, and everything is fine. I can't really complain. I just wanted to share this. But here's the interesting part. Then Sunday rolled around, and it was a lazy morning. I laid in bed for hours, and then I decided to go for a run. 2 hours later, I went for that run. Approximately 20 minutes in, I started thinking about my big sad. Approximately 10 to 20 seconds into that, and suddenly, snap. A switch went off in my head, and I was happy. I suddenly started smiling ear to ear, and I just felt amazing. I'm going to guess that exercise did that for me. I don't know, but it was just so lovely to have that happen. Okay, here's the main story here. Christmas was around the corner, and I was going to the Netherlands on the 24th of December with some friends. Probably. So in preparation, there were 3 things I was looking to buy. I was putting this off for the longest time because it required copious amounts of research. But that was, number 1, true wireless noise cancelling earbuds. Number 2, bone conducting headphones. And number 3, a battery replacement for my phone. The first 2 tasks were completed surprisingly easily, given how much I overthink these things and how indecisive I get. Then the third one came around. A battery replacement. I did the research for the battery replacement and backed everything up onto iTunes and iCloud. But to make space on iCloud, I spent my entire Saturday downloading my photos from there because I refused to pay to have more storage. Then I deleted everything from iCloud. So at this point, everything was backed up locally and none of my photos were in the cloud. Well, as far as I was aware. I called up Apple and they went through a bunch of things with me, including running a diagnosis to check if I really need a battery replacement, etc. Apparently my battery was in good enough health for them to recommend I don't get one, even though my battery was so bad it became essential to take a portable charger every time I left the house, since I could never rely on the battery. Anywho, I also asked Apple if I could bring my bike into their store. I could, because it's a fold-up bike. Although, the conversation went more like, can I bring my bike?
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries.
It'll be alright if it were a fold-up bike, though.
Oh, cool. Well, that's what I'm using. Yeah, I just thought that was an odd part of a conversation. Anywho, that brings us on to the next part of the story. The problem with commuting back and forth to the Apple store, because I didn't know how to get there, and I needed my phone for directions. How to solve this problem? Well, I googled it and found out you can download offline maps on Google Maps. I'm going to refer to this as Gmaps from now on. So I downloaded Gmaps on my iPad. I also took pictures of all the turnings on Gmaps. So when I ran around a corner, I could just stop and take a look to see what the next turning would be. Funnily enough, it was harder to get there than to get back. On the way there, I missed several turnings, went around in some circles, and then finally showed up 10 minutes late. Luckily, they were fine with seeing me. Then I talked to the Apple Genius person for around 30 minutes to an hour. I had a lot to ask and talk about. Then they took my phone away for the replacement. Then, on the way back, I discovered something interesting. Gmaps on my iPad seemed to know where I was without Wi-Fi. It's a pretty amazing bit of tech, but saying that out loud makes me realize that it's kinda scary at the same time. Anywho, I can't complain. It helped me get back safely. So I didn't have my phone for the afternoon. It feels really weird to not have your phone with you. But that was fine, until I started thinking, what if my backup didn't work and neither did my iCloud backup? What if I've lost all of my authenticator data or my shortcuts? If I lose the former, I'm kinda screwed. Just so you know, Authenticator is a two-factor authentication app. If you log in somewhere, you get a number on this app, and then you can type it in. This is to prove it's actually your account and not just an imposter with your login details. Kinda sus. And shortcuts are basically these actions you can program on your Apple devices that do tasks quickly for you. For example, press a button and see the weather for the next 4 hours. Or wake up like Iron Man.
Good morning, Ben. I hope you had a good night's sleep. Time, 9:24 a.m. Date, Tuesday, the 28th of December.
So anyway, I start worrying unnecessarily. But a few hours went by and it was finally time to collect my phone back from the store. And it was good news! Everything was fine and my battery was good. I even wrote the first draft of this entire story without charging it. I see this as an absolute win! So my phone turns out to be absolutely fine and dandy. Before I went to the Apple store that day, I also bought a ticket to go see Porter Robinson live. I even joined his Discord server and I started connecting with people who are also fans and are also going to the same venue. Things are looking exciting. We're probably going to have a meetup when we get there. And not to mention Carpenter Brute. I'm seeing them live too. Unless COVID gets in the way, next year is looking pretty good. But back to the phone. I noticed one morning before work that the latest software was having issues with shortcuts. For example, I would open Spotify using shortcuts and suddenly I couldn't use any other shortcut until I restarted my phone. Annoying. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just update my phone. But I decided I wouldn't do it right there and then, just in case it takes too long, because I had to go to work soon after. I am so very glad I waited until after work. Multiple hours passed and I got home from work. I plugged my phone in and I initiated the update. I then returned to my phone after approximately 30 minutes to an hour and find... uh-oh. But everything's going to be fine. I have backups, I tell myself. My mood is basically... I plugged my phone into the computer and it was giving me this spiel of, if your phone can't complete this update, you'll have to restore it from factory settings. And I was like, okay, sure, that's fine. I probably definitely have working backups. Some time passed and the update didn't work. I was going to have to restore the phone to factory settings. Funnily enough, Goodbye Moon Men remixed by the Living Tombstone played on my Spotify when it told me that. That was surprisingly fitting. And subsequently, Porter Robinson's Look at the Sky played right after that. I was in virtual reality looking at beautiful blue skies at the time, so it was kinda lovely. It was like a sprinkling of sugar on shit. But panic mode was still on. It's gonna be fine, I told myself while the phone restored. I have backups. It's grand. I kept telling myself even though I was actually low-key panicking. All the while my friend is sending lovely pictures of their cat and I'm trying to seem normal so I don't freak anyone out. And then iTunes came up and said, yep, you got a backup from 4 days ago. Want to use that or want to use the phone fresh? And then I was calm. Finally, I can have my phone back. So I go to my friend sending these cat pictures and I say, bear with just a sec, I'm doing something. And then, Ah! What could it be? For the love of God, what do I do? I was Googling it and finding, yep, you can reset your password. If you make another backup and change it then. I told my dad and he agreed to come and help. As he came in the room, I was just pacing and rubbing my head. We went through more potential passwords. He asked, have you checked in your KeyPass? This is my password database. I said, yeah. Then he went off and had dinner while I thought some more. Meanwhile, I was really racking my brain. Was it an old password from my original iPod Touch? Was it something I didn't think about when I made it? Did something or someone else set it? What on earth could this password be? What happened to my legs? That was in a pretty bad way. I'm not too sure what makes me do it, but I tried searching phone into KeyPass instead. Yay! Oh, fuck yeah, this is the shit! Kill me now! I reassured my dad. I told my friends sending me cat pictures that I had a crazy evening and I'd explain it in a moment. Unfortunately, it was also getting kinda late and I needed to prepare my lunch for the next day. See, I go to bed at 8:30 p.m. and sleep at 9 p.m. At the time, it was approximately 8:10 p.m. and I needed to get ready for bed. But there were still things to do. I was rushing to get everything done in time. I rushed to get to bed and it was 8:50 p.m. Oh dear, only 10 minutes to wind down. Then just over 10 minutes pass and the time is 8:06 p.m. Wait, what? Why is the time on my phone wrong? Is that because of a new battery? Wait, and my iPad? Thrones. But once it ended, we didn't know how to survive without it. That's when one of us said that Mum, what's the time? Comedy snatched.
1 second, let me pause the TV. It's 8:10, honey.
Dad, what's the time?
It's 2010. Why?
What does 20 mean? Is that 8?
That's 8. Yeah, it's 8.
I crawled into bed. I was a confused, stressed mess with a working phone, and I had somehow completely misconstrued the time by an hour. I just wanted to cry to let all of my emotions out. Everything was fine, and I just felt intense. Oh, and by the way, as I was writing the second draft of this, my shortcut stopped working. I had to restart my phone again. I mean, I was still going to do a software update anyway, but isn't that a funny thing to happen? So what have we learned? Number 1, for the love of everything, please make sure you have working backups of everything and you know your passwords. Number 2, regular physical exercise keeps you happy. Number 3, unsolicited pet pictures from your friends are always welcome. Number 4, noise cancelling earbuds are good, but you can still hear little things. People coughing, the faint sound of your respective medium of transport, talking, newspapers rustling. You hear it all. Just a little bit. And it's just loud enough to be annoying. So you still have to use music nonetheless. You know how... And this isn't a spoiler, by the way. At the end of every BoJack Horseman episode, there's like some music in the credits, and it's kind of sad. So anything that happened in the episode, regardless of how happy or sad it was, it always ends sad. This video might end like that. You know how I mentioned at the beginning that I was going to go to the Netherlands on the 24th of December with some friends? That won't be happening now. To put it into perspective, I wrote that part of the script on Friday 17th December 2021. I learned I won't be going on Monday 20th December 2021. I'm recording this on Friday the 24th of December 2021. Right now, I should be in the Netherlands with my friends, having a good time. I'm instead sitting in a messy room, talking to a camera. I mean, at least I'm being productive, right? But, you know, thanks, COVID, and everyone who helped spread it around. I was looking forward to that. And at the time of writing this, I just feel a little bit indifferent, kind of numb, quite existential, to be honest. It feels like a story, like in Of Mice and Men. Like, at the end of a year, you'll go abroad and spend a week with a bunch of friendos, and then meet some other people too. You'll watch movies and play board games, and so it's like this distant dream hasn't happened. So no biggie, it was just a dream. But then everyone told me, you must be so disappointed. And I just sat there numb like, okay. And now I feel sad, but it doesn't feel like it's directly connected to that. It feels like everything has been shut down. It's like a sadness that has been chasing me has finally caught up with me. I wonder if I needed a holiday, and now it just feels like the holiday I was expecting was just ripped away from me. And let me say this. Babies can't see their mothers, and their whole world falls apart. Toddler stubs their toe, and their whole world falls apart. A student gets a detention for not remembering their homework, and their whole world falls apart. Someone is told they have a terminal illness, and their whole world falls apart. Everyone goes through bad things, and none of it is a competition. I'm pretty fortunate, but I don't feel very happy at the time of writing this. But I'm saying this next bit just to be open. I discovered that I wasn't going on that Netherlands trip. I discovered I'd be staying at home with my lovely family for Christmas. A week or two before that, I also learned that I will still be going to work, even though COVID is ravaging the country and everyone else is working from home. Oh, and our Christmas party was also cancelled. I think there were other things, but I won't go into that right now. So, the night I learned I wouldn't be going, I was cleaning my teeth, and I just broke down crying. I went into the conservatory, and it looked beautiful. I stood there messaging a friend on my phone, eyes tearing up over the keyboard, snot dripping down and stuff, you know, the works. It felt like all of these problems piled up and crushed me that evening. I finally fell under the weight and cried it out. Please, don't worry about me. I am purely attempting to be open and honest. I like honesty. I like being open, and I just wanted to share this. And I was also going to say something profound about happiness, but then I realized I don't know nearly enough about it. I was going to say, happiness happens from moment to moment. You can't just think you'll achieve something or get something and you'll be happy. But there are way too many factors to determine that. Exercise, distractions, overcoming a horrible problem, mental illness. But when things like this happen, I think it's always helpful to just take your time and breathe. It will pass. You'll realign with yourself, and you'll be happy in your body again. That and regular exercise, of course. Oh, and by the way, you've got to watch the new Spider-Man movie. Aside from that, have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, everybody. Here's to 2022. Remember to be safe, look after yourselves, and be good to those around you. I feel like I should just kind of mention 2020. It was a good year. It was actually a very good year. I spent it working on myself, pretty much. Obviously, I didn't make anything, but I discovered a lot of interesting things, and I was very happy. For example, I discovered to-do lists, and I just kept being really productive doing what I wanted to do. I was very, very fortunate. It just gave me time to just do things. Also, I'm probably going to do another birthday party next year. If you're someone I haven't spoken to in years, feel free to reach out, even if you're from 2017. God, it's funny how 5 years can change, you know? There's a good quote I like, which is, life is a constant cycle of thinking how dumb you were 5 years ago. The irony about that, you'll find if you click the link in the description and see the, and see where it was posted. But yeah, much love, Robot. That's meant to be a salute. Oh, sorry. Welcome to the internet. Live. Comedy. And then, the funniest thing happened. Good, awesome. So this is how I'm having it. And right at the end, I'm just gonna go